Alright. So, hi everyone, this is Shu Allegra again, author of Grace and Hope Consulting, and I am still interviewing women who are making history. And then today I have April Green with us. So, April, would you mind sharing a little bit about yourself so that our audience gets to know you?
Hi, everybody, and thank you again for having me. My name again is April Green, and I am a wife and I am a mother of three awesome children, ages 12, 8, and 7. And they have all been diagnosed with autism spectrum disorder. Those are my three heartbeats. I've been married for almost 20 years. I can't believe I'm saying that. Oh my gosh, I'm old. Okay, I just hit
You got
40.
married at 12. Who said that?
Yeah, exactly. Pretty much. And I've been in the field of special education since I was about 19, straight out of school. I'm still in the field. I work with early childhood population. And so, of course, early childhood and special education are both some things that are near and dear to my heart. Just recently, my husband and I started a podcast called Keeping It Moving with April and Vondell, where we encourage others and just help people get through with faith, joy, and purpose. And we have a focus on autism and mental health and health awareness as well. And that's been fun. That's been an adventure that just came about from my husband and I's experiences. Just struggling with the journey through autism and having to come from that pain and wanting to, share with others and be a resource and just look at what we have gone through and say, hey, wait a minute. This stuff we done sat here and figured out and gone through, we need to share it with others. And from that, I kind of started a blog, which I call Awesome Sauce. And from there, I kind of put the blog down for a little bit, and the book idea came up. And I'm like, it was literally a random thought. I was sitting in class, supposed to be paying attention in class, and a random thought hit. And at the time, I didn't really realize when I expressed the random thought to my friend who is the publisher of this book, Lakita Stewart Thompson, I didn't realize who I was speaking to when I shared my random thought. I didn't realize that when I said it, she saw the vision and said, let's go. I'm thinking, hey, what about a women's book project on autism moms and giving people encouragement? And, she's like, I was like, well, we can do it after you finish these other projects. And she's like, no, we need to think of a name. We need to think about how many people you want. We need to set a due date.
Wow.
We want to do this. And I'm like, really? And then the pieces started to fall together, and the rest is history. I found my new tribe, which helped me find you as well. So I'm like, wow, this whole thing is going to be all right. That's the name of the book, which again is encouragement and testimonies from awesome women raising awesome people. This project has brought together a dynamic group of women from all across all walks of life. And we all have a different story, but we're bound by so many of the same things. And just to be able to be a vehicle for allowing people to have a voice, allowing us to share and allowing us to help others become aware of what we're doing. And I'm like, that's what it's all about. So.
Yeah. Oh, I can sit here and just listen to you all day, and I love it, every piece of it, And I know I've been on your podcast. It was just not long ago. It's a few weeks back, and it was awesome. And oh yeah, you and your husband are just like you're like natural entertainer. Like you share these this truth, like really meaningful and deep stuff, but in such an entertaining way that it catches people's attention. And I loved it. It was really fun.
Thank you for coming on with us. It was so easy to interview you. I'm like, we could have done this all day.
Oh, thank you. Yeah. So then with the book, and I love how, I did a course in the beginning of the year, like casting a vision, how when God gives us these ideas and we just, we start casting that vision out, we don't always realize, like you did, you don't know who you're talking to, right? That sometimes
Mhm.
God puts you in it gives you the vision, then He provides the resources to make it happen. So He puts you in that, with the people who can actually help, and and
Yeah.
make the vision a reality. And you didn't even know that at the time, and just like sharing
Oh,
these ideas, and here, the book is out, and it's like it's amazing.
it's amazing. It's crazy. It's like I met Kathy just like off of a random, like me being obedient because I'm like normally shy and I'll think about something and I won't say anything.
Mm-hmm.
But I was at a meeting and I was like, I should ask this young lady about coming on our podcast. And when I told her about it, she said, I have someone you need to meet.
Mm-hmm.
And she was speaking about Kathy. And she connected Kathy and I, and the rest is history.
Right.
I'm like, she had everything that I lacked,
Mm-hmm.
that I would have needed to just have this project go off and running. So it was like, God doesn't call the equip, He equipped the call. And He
Yes.
equipped me with angels on earth
Yeah.
to, like, saying that I said do this and I'm going to give you everything you need to accomplish it and, change lives and be a vehicle for others. So I'm just so thankful I was obedient, because if this was a couple of years ago, I would have not attempted to move forward on any of these things that I'm doing. It would have stayed a thought. So
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, thank God for giving me the faith and taking away those fears and those anxieties to just say, go for it and do what I'm telling you to do. I'll take care of the rest.
Yes, yes. I love those moments where just like I call them divine appointments, like where literally God just connects with the right people at the right time. And then, like
Exactly.
you said, and the rest becomes history. It's like, how did we even get here? It's like sometimes
Right.
we only see the vision, we only see what it could be, or what it would be at the end when it's done. And then again, you're right, at the right place, at the right time, and just things start unfolding in the way that
Yeah.
you didn't expect. And before you know it, you're there. Like, wow, we did this. God did this. So that
Hmm.
is awesome. Yeah. And all of you, I love Kathy, and all the everybody involved in the book that I really got to meet. And it's been awesome. Like I didn't even know when I met some of like Holly and Christina and Kathy, I didn't know they were part of the book until a
Hmm.
little later. And I'm like, oh, this is awesome. I wish I've known
Yeah.
this earlier. So
Mhm.
I'm so honored to have all of you here sharing again, just giving hope, because I'm sure that all of us wish we had that book. We've been talking with Holly and Donna. We talked about this. All of us wish we had that book when our kids were younger, when we just got that
Yeah.
posted. And
Mhm.
there's nothing out there like this, So it's good to have stories of people who are like in the trenches. They're doing this. It's gonna be okay. It's gonna be all right. You
Yes.
will
Might not
survive.
feel like it's going to be all right,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
it's going to be all right. You're going to get there.
Yeah, yeah, and life will go on, and and you're all gonna be doing amazing things. So if you did the best, you're gonna be doing. So out of all of this, and like you say, out of the pain and the confusion, the frustration, God birthed something beautiful, and that's
Yeah.
amazing. That's amazing. So why do you do this? I know you really should know. I can hear your passion, and I know you're passionate about this. But why do you do this? Whether it's the podcast or the book, even. But all of this, like, what's your why?
To be very honest with you, just out of my journey, out of the things my husband and I have experienced, um, it was really rough for us, having 3 children diagnosed with autism. You tend to lose yourself. You
Yeah.
tend to lose who you are as a couple, as individual people, and you
Mhm.
tend to just fall into the label and the things that are associated with the diagnosis of autism, all of the stigmas, all of the different concerns that your children might be facing. And we were facing at times 3. So we really kind of lost ourselves and
Yeah.
we're not really functioning like we should. And we had to get to a point where we had to say, hey, wait a minute, what's going on?
Mhm.
We have to get back to knowing that we are not defined by autism. Our family is not defined by autism. Our marriage is not defined by autism.
Mm.
Our children live with autism, but we have to also live as well.
Yes.
Um, and from us just, recognizing that we had to come from that place and move into peace and starting to learn how to take care of self, we would sit down and have these dialogues and would say, wait a minute, this stuff that we're talking about is good stuff and we need to share it with people. So we were saying this for years. Like we would sit down and talk just like we do on the podcast. And I'm like, we need to share this with people. And we look at each other and laugh. Yeah, we do. Da, 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 da. And just, not thinking nothing of it. And then the opportunity of the radio show came about. And it was like we were already prepared and didn't even know it. And just wanting to bring awareness, because that's so important. If you don't know, you're not going to know. You're not going to be able to help promote change. You're not going to be able to have understanding and be able to support. And I know I felt alone. My husband felt alone. You have feelings of isolation when your children are diagnosed with autism, and you don't want to feel alone. So I wanted to just try to help fill in that gap for other mothers, fathers, caregivers, and just even people in general that don't even know how they're impacted by autism. Because even though you feel like you're not impacted, you might not know anybody, but you're impacted by it. And even if you're not, you will be, if you keep on living. So just the more awareness that we have and the more that we share and are not afraid to share, I feel like, we'll just be in a better place.
Yes. And, I love even how open, all of you, are, all of you wrote the book, but even just hearing your story, part of your story, how, remember the beginning, you told us you've been married for 20 years. So, and then you openly said too, you guys, went through some hard time with, losing yourself, and not being able to, function well, and as a family, as a couple, and even as individuals. And sometimes we take that for granted, that when we get this diagnosis, and I have two of my three kids have an autism diagnosis, and I know it's not easy. And yeah, we need more of those stories to remind us that, others are going through this, and we come out stronger on the other side. You just have to keep living, like you said, keep living, right? And and our kids, and all people bring so much to the table that often we get focused on just the label, on the diagnosis, and all the therapies and all the appointments, that we forget to just live life, right?
Exactly. I'm like, there's lots of life to live.
Yes. So I'm glad that, this book inspires others to do that. And thank you again for sharing all of this with us, and being a beacon of hope for others, that it's so needed. So how can people connect with you? After the podcast, how can they follow your podcast and your blog and all the awesome stuff you're doing?
Yes. Well, if you wanted to tune into the podcast, you can tune in by dialing 515-604-9292 on Thursday evenings from 8 to 9 p.m. And when you call in, I like to say mutual line, just in case there's some background noise before we cut you off. So again, you can tune in to the podcast at 515-604-9292 from 8 to 9 p.m. every Thursday. And we also can be reached on Facebook at Keeping It Moving with April and Vondale as well, and Twitter at Keeping It Moving with April and Von. And I also have a blog called Awesome Souls on WordPress. So you can check that out as well. And don't forget our book, Awesome. Don't forget our book. It's going to be all right. Awesome women raising awesome people, encouragement and testimonies. Yes. That can be found at bit.ly/awesome moms. That's bit.ly/A, U, SOME, bit.ly/awesome moms. Awesome. And it also can be found, just if you look it up on Amazon, look up It's Gonna Be All Right. And if you check out April Green, you're going to find it.
Awesome. And I will maybe you'll send me those links later, and I'll make sure I post there as well, that we can click on it. Thank you so much for being here, and for
thank
all
you
that
for
you
having
do.
me.
We appreciate you.
Thank you so much. All right, take care.
Yeah, you too.
Okay, bye-bye.
Bye.